What's happening, guys? I'm TechSource. Welcome to PC Wars. Setup Wars, god damn it. What's happening, guys? I'm TechSource. Welcome to Setup Wars, episode 204, the show where you submit your setup to get featured on the channel. If you guys want to participate, make sure to watch the video linked down below. Also, guys, PC Wars episode 30 is coming up really soon, which means it's time for another episode of the Worst PC Edition. And as always, the person with the worst PC will take home $100 in cash. But I feel like roasting PCs. After all, I did roast setups recently, so I think it's fair. So if you guys want me to roast your PC on the channel, make sure to watch the video link down below to learn how to enter for PC Wars. But with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let the setup wars begin. You guys notice anything new about me, by the way? I look good, not because of my haircut, but because I'm rocking a new watch, a Vincero watch, who's also sponsoring today's video. At Vincero, they believe that you deserve to look good no matter your budget. Their wide selection of affordable, high-quality watches will help out with that. My favorite watch from them is the Altitude, because not only does it look so clean, but because it's got the channel's color scheme with the white and red dials. So their goal as a brand is to inspire as many people as possible to elevate their game. And they want every Vincero product to be a daily reminder to never stop and never settle. Because let's face it, when you look your best, you perform your best. And that's why they have the Latin words Veni, Vidi, Vici engraved on the back of every watch. If you guys want to help support the channel and look your best, then click the link below and make sure to use the code TECH to get 15% off your order. They also dropped a brand new line of affordable sunglasses to help complete your outfit. Also, they sent in 2 extra watches for me to give away, so I'll be giving these away on my Discord server this weekend. Check links below if you guys are interested. Kicking off the episode is David from Dusseldorf, Germany, and his gaming and photo editing setup. You know, most setups are against a wall, and when you think about it, it's kind of depressing, right? You're always facing a wall with no view, so it's refreshing to see these island-style setups from time to time. David built a desk himself and attached it to his wall in the center of his room, creating this corner island desk. It looks like he dedicated an entire room for an entertainment/gaming den. We got a few displays scattered across the room, with a 55-inch 4K OLED TV from LG being the main display for his setup. Just look at all that screen real estate he has to work with for photo editing. Damn. Right next to the nanoleaf panels are a few wall shelves holding up some personal items and his second display that he uses mainly to manage his music player and probably other miscellaneous programs, which is actually pretty smart. Putting that display next to the big one would have thrown off the balance, and plus it's within arm's reach for quick access. Also, real quick, I gotta give respect to David for that No Game, No Life poster on the wall shelf, easily in my top 5 favorite anime shows I have seen. So this guy is a man of culture as well. For peripherals, David went wireless with the Logitech G915 keyboard and the G305 mouse. It also looks like he's rocking those crazy expensive KEF speakers that I've only seen maybe 3 times on the show. You guys are probably most familiar with them from Christian's setup in episode 159, aka Crowman, the dude with the $100K setup. Damn. I'm not even kidding when I say this, but I'm most likely gonna pick up a pair of these in white when I redo my setup later this year. Speaking of audio, he does use the AudioQuest Nighthawk headphones as well, and the AKG C3000 microphone, which he hooked up to his Lexicon Lambda audio interface. Very nice. The PC powering the setup is so small that you probably didn't even notice it. So he built this inside the popular N-Case V6, and he liquid-cooled the 9900 KF, and he modded the shroud on the Strix 2080 Ti by replacing the stock fans with 2 Noctua ones for better cooling and clearance. Aside from the gaming PC, David also has a wall-mounted console setup as well, with a 49-inch TV and soundbar. Looks like he's still rocking that OG PlayStation 3 Slim up top and a PS4 Pro that's been skinned. Cable management is a bit harder on an island setup because you don't have that support from a wall. But David did an excellent job grouping them up and hiding them behind the desk that he specifically built just for the cables. He even built a few hidden compartments on the desk to hide the charging cables when not being used. If I had to pick one thing I like about David's setup, it has to be the synergy. Everything has its purpose, and I love how he is quite literally in the center of all the action. Everything is within arm's reach, and all he has to do is rotate his chair to switch setups. One of the better, well-executed setups I've seen in a while. Thank you, David, for starting off the show. Up next is Jason from Greece and his amazing custom creative floating setup that he built himself. He's calling it the Cableless Floating Desk Project, which actually has a few cool features built in that we will go over later. So Jason uses this setup for a lot of productivity, from editing videos to architectural design, web development, and some light gaming. We got dual 22-inch monitors sitting on top of a custom monitor riser, and below that we got the Corsair K95 keyboard and Logitech MX Master 2S mouse. I gotta say though, I love the speaker placement. Jason built himself a miniature surround sound system by spreading out the speakers around him, and even mounted a center speaker underneath the riser. Very clever. In addition to the speakers, he also uses the Corsair Void Elite gaming headset, which he hung up on what appears to be a handle to a hydraulic brake lever from a bicycle that he somehow melted onto the custom wall shelf. Speaking of the wall shelf, he added a few LED strips under there to give it the same functionality as a desk lamp, and the same goes for the monitor riser as well. Jason is a pretty smart dude, and I'm beginning to realize this the more I look at these pictures. So to control the lighting underneath the monitor riser and the wall shelf, he built himself a switch with a built-in USB hub. The bottom switch controls the power to the PC, and the top button controls the power to the lights. The creativity doesn't even stop there. He took his old brake rotor from his bicycle and he built a phone stand with it. He also built himself a cool coaster by gluing a traditional coaster on top of an old sprocket, once again from his bicycle. And finally, a pen holder built out of a piece of wood and a few old bike chains. I got a feeling Jason did really well in his arts and crafts class in school. The PC powering the setup was built back in 2015, and it's packing the Intel Xeon processor with an MSI GTX 980. Low-key, I'm kind of glad the case doesn't have a clear side panel because the cables look atrocious in here. But at least your setup's cable management is better, and honestly, that's what matters the most. Cables are beautifully wrapped up together using zip ties and cable clips, and Jason even built 2 removable compartments underneath the desk that he used to store the power strip on one side and his PS5 on the other. Oh, actually, that's a router, never mind. Such a refreshing and creative setup from Jason. Thank you for entering. Remember how I was talking about how depressing it is having your setup in front of a wall? Well, this is the type of view that I wouldn't mind having. Junior from New Zealand put his setup right in the corner of his living room, looking out in his backyard, basking underneath the sun, getting all of that D, vitamin D that is. This is definitely a really chill environment to get work done and play games. He uses the 2015 MacBook Pro laptop for video and photo editing, while the other screens are for gaming and watching movies. The top 49-inch Panasonic TV is specifically for movies, while the bottom 25-inch monitor is for gaming. However, he doesn't have a gaming PC, so he's using this 240Hz gaming monitor with his PlayStation 4. Now, normally this is where we would all facepalm considering consoles are capped at 60Hz, but there's a reason why Junior went with a 240Hz monitor. He wrote in the notes that he is planning on getting a gaming PC in the near future, and he would rather build one instead of cheaping out on buying a pre-built. So he basically bought a monitor to future-proof the setup. So I guess we can technically call this a console setup. Now for audio, he has a pair of SteelSeries Octus Pro wireless headphones and a soundbar that he mounted underneath the desk right next to the PS4. The desk he's using is made out of glass, but he did an excellent job with the cable management by covering the wires with a few sleeves and mounting the power strips on the back. Such an awesome setup with a cool view. Thank you, Junior, for entering. Coming in at number 4 from Saudi Arabia is Nawaf and his super cozy gaming den. Nawaf's setup is the perfect example that you can have both Apple and Windows products. You know, I always see hate towards Apple products and vice versa, but there is no reason to hate on a product because you don't like it or because you think your product is superior. The truth is, everything has its purpose and specific products perform better in specific tasks. Over in the corner of the room, we have both of his setups, one for gaming and one for work, and I'm sure you guys can tell which is used for what. The 27-inch iMac with the Magic Keyboard and mouse is used for productivity, while the setup next to that is for gaming. And if you ask me, I think Nawaf has the best of both worlds. For the gaming setup, he's rocking a 27-inch gaming monitor from LG with the HyperX Alloy Origin Core keyboard and the Logitech G502 Hero mouse. And finally, the PC powering the setup has an i7 9700K with 16 gigs of RAM and the Aura's RTX 2070 Super graphics card. However, he does have a console as well sitting next to his Astro A50s. There's nothing really unique or cool about this setup. I like what he did with the rest of the room more than the actual setup itself. All of those wall shelves holding up collectibles with the massive 65-inch TV for console gaming, to me, is more exciting. And of course, just like most Apple owners that I know of, there's gotta be a wall shelf displaying all the product boxes somewhere in the room, for no reason other than to flex. It definitely feels like Nawaf put more thought and planning into everything else in the room besides the corner desk setup. But overall, it's a sick gaming den nonetheless. Thank you for entering. Wrapping up the episode is a very special contestant. Most of you probably remember him from episode 152, who was the first ever person with a budget setup to take home the seal of approval, proving to everyone that you don't need high-end gear to do it. Yoda is back again with a completely brand new setup that he calls Cyberjunk. The inspiration for the wall art is the same as his previous setup, but he changed it up a bit by going with a new design. He stuck with using the same material as before to save money. A bunch of styrofoam that he cut out and painted with RGB strips to give it that extra spice, and he used paper glue to stick it on the wall. Personally, I think he did a fantastic job with the new design, and I just love how he even made a custom wallpaper to give it the illusion that the design is blending in with the monitors. That is pretty sick. Speaking of monitors, he did add a third one, so now he's rocking a triple monitor setup with the same peripherals as last time. We still got the Logitech G810 Orion Spectrum keyboard with the G900 Chaos Spectrum mouse, but check out what he did to hide those cables. He added a thin raceway going across the desk and painted them so it blends in with the desk and mouse pad. Pretty clever. For audio, he stuck with his Artemis Spectrum headset and the Logitech Z313 speakers, but he wanted to keep the surface of the desk clean, so he put the speakers on the cable rack underneath the desk. In fact, the only thing that's new in this setup other than the extra monitor is the BM800 microphone that he hooked up on the corner of the desk. Oh, and he also upgraded from a laptop to an actual custom PC that he mounted to the side of the setup. It's a Mini ITX build rocking the Ryzen 2700X and an Asus Strix 2060. Another great example showing that you can build an awesome setup on a budget. You just need a little bit of creativity and hard work. As always, thanks Yudo for coming on again. And that does it for this episode of Setup Wars. As always, make sure to comment down below on what setup was your favorite, and don't forget to smack the crap out of the like button if you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you very soon in the next one. To get featured on the channel, if you guys want to participate, you know what to do. What's up, you guys? I'm TechSource. Welcome back to another episode. What the hell am I smoking on? Welcome to PC edition, where the person with the worst setup, worst PC. Hey guys, I'm TechSource. Welcome back to another episode. Welcome to Setup Wars. What is happening with me today? Snap out of it. Let's go. On the channel, if you guys want to participate, make sure to watch the video. What is that noise, man?